Here I am again. Hey, this time I'm on a trip that I've been getting ready to do for, well, since February when I bought this. I've been outfitting it properly. Been trying to get this trip done for 60 years, ever since I was a young kid. The last 10 years, between weather, people visiting from out of country and family and everything, problems, finally got to do it. Snuck out of the house. I'm in my element now. Anyway, let me show it to you. Got everything kind of hooked up. I got the 2 spotters that fill in the flood. I have that front LED bar that does more road work fill in. Those are all from Oz USA. Really, really good group to deal with. He called me the other day, wanted to know how all the lights were working, which I thought was pretty good. Drove it by. He took some pictures for his advertisement, which was kind of neat, that people have more thought than, hey, where's the money? Anyway, it's all run on an aux beam, which is a control to the right of the steering wheel. Controls all the roof rack lights. I have a little CB radio. My plan is to go see a 1 million pound locomotive called the Big Boy. Somebody kind of was joking one day and wrote that on the firebox, and it stuck. About 1940. This thing ran from 1940 to the 60s, hauling freight from Cheyenne, Wyoming, up over the Continental Pass into Ogden, Utah. And I'm going to meet it in Roseville, California, which is near Sacramento.
How exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be 116 degrees. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. Added another little refrigerator plug-in.
So this is your second refrigerator?
Second refrigerator. The other one is kind of an ice box with a cooling system. It doesn't get real cold. Okay. But what I do is I cool all my water, and then I put it in the refrigerator. I have a little artwork here.
Yes, tell us about this artwork.
Oh, my dad was an artist, and I got him interested in painting smaller things that were more affordable. And one of them was saw blades.
Wow.
I used to take those to the swap meets and sell them to people that had motorhomes. That one he grafted on some slate, so it looks like it's an actual waterfall. I have one that's off a buzz saw that's 24, 25 inches in diameter on my patio.
That's so awesome. So
yeah.
That's where you get it from.
Yeah, different medium. He was actually quite mechanical too. I have another brother that's that way too. So anyway, everybody says, what can you get in your Honda? Well, you can get just about anything in a Honda.
So this is your actual refrigerator here,
yes,
with a temperature gauge here, right?
Yeah, that one, it's 40 or 50 degrees. That's just works off atmosphere differences, kind of like a heat pump.
You had this problem where you couldn't unplug it, so you made a little notch.
What I call short engineering. Everything would hit this surface here. So what I did is I routed a hole in it and put some matching panels.
Nice, look at that.
That I keep in my shop. I have too much stuff in the shop.
You've been tinkering with this for a while.
Yeah, it's still in a different stage.
So I know you had put a
yep, that's
like a dipstick right there.
Yep, that's a dipstick, universal dipstick that pulls the opening. This is the lock. So I can lock it from inside.
Oh, that's neat too.
Yeah.
And then you got to add some battery powered lights here that you have running here.
Yeah, that runs on a battery now. And what I want to do is, just a little on and off switch. Yeah.
And you were mentioning
I didn't want to cut a hole in it till I tested it out on this long week. Nice. Actually, it's going to be a month I'm going to be in this.
A whole month in the
whole month. And what I may end up doing is make this so it comes out, put a little switch inside this hand grip to turn the lights on and off, and then put a 9-volt battery inside there. So I don't have to run any more wiring through all the up the post and over through grommets and so on.
Oh.
Yeah, my backup camera for my actually takes videos.
There you go.
Because I drive in LA, I need a camera.
You need a camera.
You need a camera.
And now I see you have your little teacup.
Yeah,
I remember you
or
Egg
McMuffin. Yeah, Egg McMuffin trailer.
And this is nice because it doesn't weigh much.
It weighs
you keep
nothing.
A lot of things in there, a lot of rattly things.
It'll hold about 600 pounds. The gentleman that I bought it from put independent suspension on it, put American-made trailer tires on it instead of the China bombs. I did put the spare tire outside the cargo area, take up more room. It's got bearing buddies on it, so I can grease it every once in a while. As you saw in one of the last videos, we went out to Fiesta Island in San Diego, and it was a kind of a practice run.
Yeah.
Worked out really, really good. Yeah,
definitely covers almost the entire part of your car.
Well, it goes from the grill bumper area all the way to the back and the cabana.
Yeah.
The cabana sticks out, and then this tent starts there. So I'm going to use the cabana as a private room for dressing, sponge bath, and potty room.
There you go.
Porta potty in there. I'm going to try and park near a civilized porta potty. But I have a Jackery.
Oh, tell us more about this. You had sent me pictures.
Yeah.
And I wanted to tell Jackery.
The Jackery.
How you could do it better.
Is really good, but I have to make everything my own. This is how you plug into a Jackery. The problem is these are spring loaded, and guess where they end up? They end up outside, down on the floor somewhere.
That's true.
So right now, because everything's brand new and tight, I put from the back side of this, I rewired this type of plug.
Oh, and what are these plugs called?
These are Anderson plugs. Power ports. Yeah. So anyway,
with that, you're charging the Jackery through that side?
Well, this charges it. Consequently, I have a printer that prints on heat shrink tubing. I can also write on the bigger diameter. Again, but they've got a really nice detent. They won't come out.
Nice.
So anyway, this is the feed, which is also here. But I can get my 110. I got to have bachelor food. I got a microwave.
You do have a microwave.
I have a microwave, yeah. Yeah, I can put my ballpark my Android Auto. I'm using a Old Tech. It's a FM transmitter that goes to a channel that I've got a preset button, and then I can plug in my terabyte hard drive that has all my music, has all my audio books. I can listen to Sherlock Holmes for 800 miles.
There you go. And if you don't know, Steve is a big music guy.
Yeah.
He wanted to bring his amplifier with him.
I have a broken amplifier that I can't fix, and I'll admit here, I can't fix everything, but I've looked into this. I have a ticking noise that just bothers me, and found a place in Salt Lake City, which is, I'm going to end up in Bonneville watching the Bonneville Salt Flat races. Anyway, I was going to bring it, and I just ran out of time, so ran out of floor. So anyway, I have my scanners. I have one for, this one does all the BLM, park rangers. This one does weather and all the train communications.
Oh.
Yeah, so
these are actually really nice mounts.
Yeah, I made that one.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's just, actually, that is a PVC pipe.
A PVC pipe.
Heated and then flattened under 2 pieces of metal. Yeah, to flatten it out, and a little bit of carving. So.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, this is really neat.
Yeah, so everything's working pretty good.
I like how your carbon fiber, like, I know this is like a sticker, but it's actually stayed on really nicely.
Yeah, it's got a few little wrinkles.
Well, you can't really tell from here. At least I can't tell.
Yeah, it's I think it's DIY Element.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good products.
I'll put the link down there.
I just watched his, I bought and installed one of his Pilot adjustable windshield wipers.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. Okay.
But my hands don't work like they're supposed to. My wife has little tiny hands. She got up behind that fuse panel. If anybody's ever done this, those fuse panels, Honda's really cheap with their wire. They give you about this much wire to pull something out and work on it. Anyway, so that's finally hooked up.
That's cool.
Thank you, Miguel, for trying.
Oh, he tried it out?
Yeah, I cornered him at one of the swap meets and at the
car meets?
Car meets, yeah, and tried to wrangle him into pulling it out. So, because the wire was all, I did the conversion for the steering column, but could not get that plug out. And my wife barely did, then trying to get a clip off of it that captures the connectors, then putting the connectors, then putting it all back together. It was, believe me, it was a 11th hour event last night. So that's basically it.
What are you using on here? I see it's actually
I took the seat out.
Okay.
And I had some rectangle tubing, and I bored counterbored some holes so that the same bolts that hold the seat in now holds this little frame.
Nice. So, because
And
it
then
looks
this-
very secure.
Now this piece of wood that you see is aircraft plywood.
Oh.
This weighs nothing. Very strong. It's what Volkswagen Vanagons use in their Westphalias is aircraft plywood.
Light
Anyway,
but strong wood.
Very light. So anyway, this goes in there, goes over here, and it's same thing. It's counterboard. It holds the because I use this probably the most, or I think I will. So everything you use the most is on the outside. Everything you use kind of goes towards the inside.
Nice.
It's just like your glove box. Registration and insurance, please.
Have it ready to go.
Yeah, have it ready to go. Yeah.
What do you have in here?
That is my bedding.
Bedding. Okay.
I have
It's a neat bag too to put everything in.
Costco.
Costco.
These are for taking your ice cream home in it.
Oh.
Yeah, designer bags.
There you go.
Anyway, I had a few. Also unfortunately, at my age, I need a little more padding on top of the stock Fifth Element. And this is Walmart. It's nice because it's kind of massaging. But this has those snuggles, which are like a serape.
Yeah.
Has a little hole for your head, but
Oh.
warm. My wife has two of them, and just one is, for sitting watching TV. It's perfect. I took two of them and used to use them in my van. I put one down on top of the mattress and then two on top of me, and usually kick them off because I don't need all that heat. And this week, I doubt if they even come out of the bag, but I've got them.
Now, how are you going to combat like the heat? Like, how are you going to stay cool?
The heat, that's always a problem. I have my slide over bags.
Yes.
My
Your
bug
nets,
bags,
right?
Yeah. My
Which I'll
window
put a
bags.
video for that.
My
right
wife
here.
made a set for the back one, so I'm going to sleep a la carte with all the windows open.
Nice.
I do not have one that goes over the moonroof, but what I've done is I brought a silver tarp
Oh.
that I'm going to suspend on top of the rack. So there'll be a little airflow up there,
There you go.
but the direct sun will not go in there. I'm going
Mm.
to put, depends on where I camp, I'm going to put my solar panels. At El Mirage, I put them on the wheels. And that helped a lot on the heat too.
Now, have you seen those people that have installed some sort of like air ventilation on the moonroof where it's like a
little assisted fan?
yes,
Yeah, that
it
actually
kind of
works.
sucks out the
Yeah,
fan, the air. How do
Certainly,
you feel about that?
battery consumption is something to consider. They do make good sized fans out of computers, and I have a few.
I'd like to see
I have
what
a
you come up with.
I have boxes and boxes of computer fans, everything from 1.5 volts up to 5 volts and 12 volts and 110. My stereo system, which takes up a cabinet about this big, has two 110 fans in it.
Oh.
To help remove all the heat from the amplifiers.
You would think, especially having that moonroof or even something on the window to extract all the air and push it out.
Remember, this was designed in California but built in Ohio. I found out that my wife's stepmom used to work for Honda when they were building these.
Wow.
She was in the parts department. Yeah.
That's nice. And then you got new tires recently?
I got some new tires. My philosophy was I called my good friend Wilson and said, hey, what did you buy? Bought the Faulkner. And I said, okay, but how do you like the noise, the mileage, how do they handle? And that was all good. But because this trip is going to go to Sacramento and then all the way to Wyoming, then all the way down to the bottom of Utah, and then back to San Diego, I thought, I'm going to get a place that is everywhere. And Subway sandwiches doesn't sell tires. So I figured probably Walmart. So I went to Walmart, looked at their best. They did have some general, but they couldn't tell me what the noise was. So I decided on these. They're not exactly what I wanted, but their temperature range, their wear range, everything else worked out pretty good.
These are the 215/70 R16 stock wheels.
Yeah, I wanted to stick with stock diameter because the weight that I'm carrying, I didn't want to run in third gear all the time.
You can see.
So things to consider. I'm finding the 215/16 is getting to be hen's teeth.
Yeah.
So
it's a good wheel and a good idea as far as getting a tire from a place that's literally almost everywhere. Yeah. So that is pretty smart because
and they were reasonably priced. So
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
a lot of people go to, for example, I've gone to Costco or America's Tires.
Yeah.
They're great, but they're not everywhere,
Right.
and they're not open all the time.
No.
So
Costco, yeah, there are a little more places where you can walk in and say, "I got a problem with your tire." Yeah, no problem. Here you go. But or you start looking online. And, oh, next place is 1,500 miles away.
yeah, and that
Good time for a
happens.
hot dog, slice of pizza while they're fixing your tires. But so there was a lot of indecisions. Another thing I found, I bought one of these. Actually, I bought 3. These are $5 at our local Dollar Trees. It's battery. It's got a battery system in it, so you can turn it on at any time. It's a little ventilation fan. It's for a desktop. You can also plug it in, and it'll run all the time on whatever battery you're serving. I like it this way so that you can consume it, charge it up while you're driving, and then consume it some more. But
Wow.
it just gets the air moving.
Moving.
It's hot air, but it's at least it's moving air.
It's
you can
moving the air.
yeah, you can use the principles of evaporation cooling. So
Oh, it's a neat
Yeah.
fan.
yeah, $5.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what you could do with some computer fans, with some sort of ventilation
Well-
for the top here. And I see you have your El Mirage hat.
Yep.
Here.
El Mirage was there for the grand opening a couple months ago. They have 2 days on the grand opening, and then also on the last day, they run for 2 days. So it was a good trial. I went up there and big notepad, put some faults of my equipment. Everything actually worked pretty good. I forgot a few things. That was more than anything because I get in a hurry and don't look at my list.
Oh,
Yeah, I take my calendar and use it as a list every day. It says, this is what you want to do. Okay, I didn't do it, but it goes on the next.
it goes on.
Yeah.
Now, any concerns with your month-long journey? Is there anything that you?
No, I'm keeping an eye on temperature. I have an OBD2 sensor, Bluetooth, that plugs into an ALDL, which is the actual name of the plug that's underneath your car dashboard. And then I go on to Torx, and I have a Torx Pro, which I paid $4.99.
Okay.
But it will look at temperatures that
Ah.
yes, you have a hot and you better start walking on your Honda, but this one will actually tell me that it's running at 188, 190. On the longest hills with all this load, it gets up to about 200 degrees,
200
but
degrees.
no more.
No more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I use that, as a tool. It's just like a cell phone. You don't have to be on it all the time. I have a little screwdriver I keep in my pocket. You know what? I don't take it to the dinner table. I tell that to my nieces and nephews.
I think about it, but it's not.
Yeah, exactly. So
Can you show us underneath the hood?
yeah.
I know a lot of people wanted to see that again.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's quite stock, but it's all been maintenance by Honda's suggestions. Still has the original hood pull. I also have paper backup for all my maps. I also have offline ability. Because I'm going to go in, when I get to Utah, I'm going to go to some old ghost towns, some gold mines, titanium mines, battery.
Oh, that's nice.
Because I can put it out at my,
Is it back
table.
inside the teacup?
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
And it charges through the electric plug that goes through the trailer hitch. Anyway, this battery, because it's from Walmart, I can have it warranted anywhere. I did watch, I get a lot of ideas from YouTube also. A couple of guys said, we went to the bigger batteries. It fit pretty good. I had to flatten out the battery tray, but more important, it's bigger. The post polarity is correct. Now I've added my own electrical system, but again, it goes into here, it goes out, and then it's dispersed. Now I also have an aux beam. Now that controls all my lights. It even charges my charging circuit, a relay. If I push a button, the battery is hooked up to the major cables in the back that charges all my the Jackery, my second battery, all my power ports, everything.
Nice. And you have, I remember, you have this label that prints out.
Yeah, I have
A
a
thermal printer, right? Or did you
yeah,
say?
it's thermo. Yeah, it works out pretty good. So I
That's
know
good.
if I pull a wire off, I know where it went and where it's coming from. Here's another one here. See, there's one that says auxiliary
Aux battery. There you go.
This is a spare battery. That was one I didn't need, but I wasn't going to eliminate it. It is insulated on the end for those people that haven't got anything else to do in mom's single wide basement.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's very clean in here.
yeah. It's stock. I can go to Honda and Honda can work on it. You know, and those are things to remember. You know, what's Honda going to do with it when they get it, if they have to get it?
Yeah. Do you ever feel like maybe the Element is maybe a little underpowered at times?
No. When I went to El Mirage, which is high desert, I went up the Cajon Pass this is a 4-speed, so I was in 4th gear, which is an overdrive, on 60 miles an hour cruise control. I was pulling a trailer, so I was exceeding the speed limit, but I was in better traffic at 60 than 55.
Nice.
And I wasn't fighting anybody for the truck lane. Anyway, went all the way up on cruise control. It did shift down at the very top. But
Okay.
yeah, it seems to have just the right amount of power.
Just
It has enough power to pass, even with this weight. I haven't weighed it. It was on the list, but you know how lists are.
That's true.
Yeah, they'll stick around long before you get rid of them.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got a little magnetic CB radio antenna. That's for, yeah, that umbilical. I didn't want to push any more wire through that A post. So what's nice about this is if I decide to take the rack off, I turn this.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's a Canon plug.
Cannon plug. I don't even know what that was called.
Yeah, this one actually came off with the cable from a handicap lift.
Oh, handicap lift.
Yeah, for lifting.
And you just put it back in there?
Yeah, it just goes in there. It's polarized, so you can't get it wrong. There's a little pin at the top. So you just put it in there, and then you give it a quarter of a turn. Yeah.
Nice.
So I have in the back, of course, I have the 2 floodlights in the front, and what they do is they fill in turning areas where you're going to turn off-road, or in the dark, even in the parking lot. But I also have, and we're going to have a little key noise here. If you want to get to the back, you'll see that amber one. It has 2 modes.
There it is.
So that one I can use in the fog. I used it at El Mirage because the dust was so bad. I was afraid somebody wasn't going to see the taillights or run over the back of my. But
I didn't even think of that.
But with a button,
there you go. Get a flash.
I can interject a flash. Yeah. So
In case of an emergency
well,
or
it also
something.
it seems to be seen better. It seems like it's a backup light than it is maybe one fog light coming at you. That's my adventure. I'm going to be back in about a month. I'm going to get Wilson to come down and we'll take him to the best taco stand in town and
There we
go
go.
from there.
There we go. So we'll
Yeah.
follow up with Steve in a month to see how his journey went.
Yep.
He'll send us some
Got
pictures.
lots of pictures.
Yep.
Thank goodness for
let us
digital.
know down below what you guys would want to see or questions
Yeah.
you have for Steve.
Yeah.
And